Hello, I'm Ragda. I'm a graphic designer and illustrator, and someone who chose freelancing and now has a lot of trust issues because of it.
I'm Georgia, marketer, strategist, and professionally optimistic even when the analytics say otherwise. And this is freelance.her, where we talk about what freelancing is actually like, the good clients, the bad clients, the late payments, the random 2 a.m. ideas.
So if you're building something on your own or thinking about it, welcome. You're not crazy.
You're just self-employed.
Yep. So hello, hello,
Okay.
hello. We're gonna talk
Hello, you
about
guys.
hmm we're gonna talk about something very interesting today.
Which you don't
And
remember
that
the
is
name of.
no.
Yeah.
It's freelancing actually for everyone. It's not, but we'll talk about this more.
Maybe I don't know, like I have like I mean, if you're willing to go through the hardships of freelancing, I think it could be for everyone, but I think also you have to have a lot of like will, to do it. Because I swear there's so many times like in my life that I wanted to back down and I was like, right, I'm gonna just start working in a company full time and that's it. I'm done with freelancing. But then the liberties that
Yeah,
freelancing does give you, that's one thing that you're like, oh shit. I don't know if I want to do that though. I don't want to give it up.
I agree. I
But
think
yeah.
it's not for everyone. I feel like it's meant for some people, it's not meant for others. And I don't know, I think this is gonna annoy a lot of freelancers that I've met a lot of freelancers myself that I was like, you're not cut for this job. You don't know how to like handle yourself during anything. So I feel like if you're freelancing, you're a warrior. You're you're a warrior for sure.
I mean, yeah, no, I think marketers like they're so cut for freelancing because I think like freelancing for me made sense because marketing already trains you like to live in uncertainty. Like one day you're analyzing numbers, the next you're writing copy, the next you're literally client like comment on your client because he wants something like a post to go viral by Thursday and it's like what Wednesday. So I feel
Yeah.
like it kind of makes sense for us marketers. Yeah, I mean, I'm a marketing manager, but I think freelancing taught me very quickly that managing marketing is one thing, and then managing your life, your pipeline, your confidence, your invoices, that's one big one, and your personal brand at the same time is like another job completely, entirely. Like it's so much more,
I
right?
agree.
Like people
I
think,
agree.
okay, I'm gonna be doing, yeah, there's a lot of people that say I'm going to be doing freelancing, but clients will come to me. Like, no, like they don't know you exist. You literally have to market yourself. You have to build your personal brand. You have to get out there. You have to be bold when you're like writing contracts that literally like have to be able to like save you in the worst case scenario, let's say. Um, there's so much more to like freelancing that some people don't look at, which I think it's, good to do.
Yeah. I think the problem is that freelancing is always sold to be this like cute dream of like you're working at cafes and traveling the world and you don't have a boss and it's all this dreamy stuff. But I feel like a lot of people do not realize that you become your own company. You become your own CEO. You have to manage everything. And it's not just, oh, I have a task or I have a project I'm working on, so I need to really focus on that. I think our energy gets distributed with the financials of it all, dealing with the client and doing the job, and then trying to figure out your timeline, if you can take more projects or not. And if you're working a full time with freelancing as well, that's a whole other issue. So I feel like a lot of people on Instagram like to like romanticize freelancing, like, look at me traveling the world and working from my laptop on a cute cafe in Paris. And I'm like, it's not like that. It's way more hectic and chaotic than they make it look like. So we're here to talk about the reality of freelancing, not the Instagram post cutesy
From our
things.
perspective, though, from our
Yeah, of course.
perspective,
It's
though,
our
like
opinion.
I'm a marketing
Yeah.
manager, she's a graphic designer. Like we have our own perspectives. Obviously, some other people's gonna have different opinions. But
Yeah.
I, I was one of them traveling and posting pictures and working with my laptop from Mexico, like down the beach with a pina colada. I was that person. And I will say it was great, but it was so complicated to do at the same time because like I was working with European time zones most of the times and I was in Mexico. So I was like what 5 hours like difference. So every time I would have to literally like do things in the night. And that was very hectic. Reason why also like I decided, yeah, I'm not cut for it. There's a lot of people that do it.
Yeah.
Great. You guys enjoy it. I burnt out so quickly. It's just, yeah. And the thing is, yeah, burnout, right? Like we talk about burnout, and people like sometimes talk about it very lightly, but have you ever overbooked yourself with like more than 6 clients and you're one person only, so one person team, and you literally have to do everything and you have timelines and you have to like reach the KPIs in my case for marketing, and you're just sitting there and you're like, wait, what the fuck? Why did I do this to myself? I cannot do this anymore. And literally like find yourself literally like crawling out of bed. And it's like you have to have that discipline because most of the times you're desperate for something, but you have to have the discipline to do something, right? So freelancing, I think it also like help you build that discipline for yourself. Because I mean, like 6 months down the line, when nobody else is like anymore clapping for you, you have 3 clients that are basically ghosting you, and you still have to post, pitch, follow up, and pretend your life is like literally under control. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, do you have the discipline to do that? Like, to manage all of that and get out of it, and setting the invoices and be like, yeah, girl, you have to pay me. Like, I am protected with my contract. You literally have to do it, otherwise. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, when I do say that freelancing is not for everyone, a lot of people, hate on that statement. It's like, no, it's meant for like, it's not for talented people like you. For me, freelancing is not about talent at all. I think freelancing for me is about your nervous system, on how to regulate your nervous system, because you have a lot of inputs from a lot of places and you have to deal with them all. And the thing is, also, that brings me to the nervous system part, is that when you work a full time, you have a stable salary, you have everything planned out for you, and you don't have to really like chase something or like, exert a lot of effort into getting something. But with freelancing, the problem is you have to make your structure, you have to chase the clients, you have to try to divide your energy with everything, because you have a great month and then you have the other month total silence, nothing. And sometimes you feel like you're failing, it feels like you're not doing enough. And this is a lot of negative energy on your nervous system. And it's like, it's a lot. That's why I'm saying it's not for everyone. You need to manage yourself internally to know how to deal with all the unpredicted, chaotic stuff with freelancing. So you have to be more grounded, more centered. If you have a bad month, to try to remind yourself, like, it's okay. I can, maybe next month it's gonna get better. But if you're just gonna crash immediately, which I always do, you have to think about, taking a step back sometimes from freelancing and be like, you know what, I cannot do this for now. And I go through this sometimes. I sometimes hit a pause and I'm like, you know what, that's a lot for me right now to handle. So it's, come and go.
Yeah, I feel like so I've been doing this for 12 years, almost 13 now. So it's quite a long time. And I feel like one thing that you really, other than discipline, that you really need to like build onto is emotional resilience, right? So in my
Mhm.
case with marketing, I learned that not everything is personal. So but it definitely does feel personal in the moment. So maybe like a post flops, an idea gets literally ignored, like a pitch is gonna get rejected. A client says they want more punch maybe in something, and suddenly you're literally questioning your entire existence. I feel like that moment, like when you reach those moments, that's when you have to understand that, freelancing does need that emotional resilience, because you're not just selling a service, you're also often selling your own taste, right? Your thinking, your creative judgment, your strategy. And when people start rejecting that, it is, it hits deeper. So I mean, yeah, people thinks freelancing is perfect if you hate structure, but I actually think the opposite. Like, if you can't create structure for yourself, freelancing will literally create so much freaking chaos that you won't be able to manage it at all. So, yeah, when people say you don't need a boss breathing down your neck, but you do need a calendar that scares you just enough, to do that, that's my little line, because I'm like, yeah, my calendar has to scare me as much as a bus would, because I have to be prepared
Yeah.
for it.
So when you talk about rejection, the thing is, it's not just a client rejecting your idea in the moment. I think it's also a client rejecting you completely. So they ghost you, they disappear, and you keep doubting yourself, like, did I overcharge? Is my work not good enough for him to choose me? And you get into this loop. And especially when it comes to money, you doubt yourself a lot when it comes to freelancing, and you start questioning, am I too expensive for him? Should I charge cheaper than I already currently do? And that brings us to another part where money is a very important conversation that we have to have as freelancers, because a lot of people oversee that part. But we're not starving artists. We're not gonna live on whatever creativity we give out. We need money to survive and to keep going. Yeah. So we have to talk about money a lot.
Yeah, 100%. One thing like freelancing literally forces you to do is like stop being weird about money. Like, what the heck? Like, you literally cannot build a business and act shocked when every time people like talk about, pricing. Like, when pricing enters the chat, like, you cannot be shocked. Like, I mean, as a marketer, I know brands invest in visibility, growth and positioning all the time. But as a freelancer, the real challenge is believing your own work deserves that same level of serious investment, right? And that is such a difficult lesson to teach somebody. Like, because I don't know, there's such a taboo around it. And I'm like, why the heck are we so shocked about it? Like, we all get paid. So yeah, I think marketing is also naturally collaborative. So strategy calls, brainstorming, audience feedback, community conversations, freelancing can feel, sometimes strange because you're doing all that energy heavy work, I would say, but often alone in your room with maybe like 12, 15 tabs open and, one emotional support coffee. And you're like, yeah, maybe not, like, I'm not worth like that amount of like money that I'm requesting, and that is so wrong, right? I had recently a client literally sent me an email saying, "Hey, like this marketing agency offered me this amount of money," and then he described like it was 1,000 euros, but then he described like four services out of like the 20 that I was giving him, and he was saying like, you either like pay, like ask me for less, or we have to change provider. And I was like, you know what, you can change provider. I'm happy with that. Like, I'm not gonna like go under like my asking price for something that is like, because he wanted to keep the same formula that we had. So I was like, if you want to do like the same formula they're offering, I can do that for the same amount of price. That is fine. But then like, you're not gonna like try to get my formula. And one thing I find really funny is I sat back with that and I was like, right, realistically, how many hours am I spending on this client? Realistically, is around 28 per month. It's not much. So we can work around that, right? So I was like, okay, what's the most I can like go down to? Since he wanted to do 1,000, but I wasn't gonna compromise the same amount of like services that I was doing for 1,000. So I was like, let me be cheeky about it and let's see what he does. And I haven't replied or got a reply yet, because it's literally happening as we speak. But I basically offered him for 1,150, basically the same amount of services that I'm currently doing, but for 3 months. So he's gonna get that for 3 months, and then in 3 months' time, he's gonna like we're gonna have to reevaluate the contract, you know. And I think when you do stand ground on your own compensation, and you know what you are valued, you know your time is valuable, you know what you're gonna be asking for it. That is like when the client is gonna like literally say, okay, I respect that. Because a lot of clients, what they do when they send these like emails, because this happened not for the first time, it's happened many times now. Again, I've done this for 12 years, is literally they want to get, a cheaper value out of you. I mean, if you want to do it, if you're willing to do it, then you should definitely go for it. For myself, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna like bend, especially because like we're almost talking about like 3,000 euros different. So I was like, I mean, we can do it for like 3 months, just not to lose the client. But I'm not doing it more than that, because otherwise, what if like he wants to do it full time for like the next year? This like contract that we're closing is like a year long. So I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. You're not getting that from me. No, I think there's so much like potential with getting into freelancing, right? But you have to be aware of, how to really market yourself, how to grow your brand, how to get people to know what you're doing realistically, for how much you're doing it, and in with your own like portfolio, because I think portfolio even in marketing is very valuable. I think like a lot of people it's easy to speak about, oh, I know how to do this and that, but then also offer it and show, the client, because we had a probation period of like a week that I offered my client, where he could see what I did, like what I do, and we put it in place, right? So he basically wanted to reduce his like um monthly budget from 15,000 to like a couple thousand, because he didn't want to spend this much on marketing anymore, but still get clients. And we managed to do that since, yeah, like since we started to now, like with a budget spent of like 4,000 total. But it's been many months now. I mean, we still got clients. We got around like 1,000 clients. I mean, it's not bad. Especially because it's like is a studio kind of thing, so they can't take as many clients in one go, anyways. So, I mean, you pay for results, I guess, in this case. But again, I think like, freelancing can mess with your identity a little, because you start as I am a marketer in my case, or I'm a developer, I am a graphic designer, and then 2 months later, you're also a strategy, a writer, an analyst, like an account manager, creative director, that, salesperson, project manager, and also an unpaid therapist, because that has happened to me, and that has happened to you, Ragda. I know it so many times. And it's so funny because then you have other freelancers that you can go back to and
A
say, okay,
lot,
today I had a 2 hour
a
session
lot.
with my client where I literally almost had to hold their hands and be like, you're okay, darling, you're fine. It's crazy. So funny.
I think in my case, freelancing taught me a lot. I think the main thing was confidence, because I was not a confident person growing up. And I think when I started freelancing, it taught me a lot about confidence, about boundaries, how to value my work, how to be more independent. And I feel like these are the good things that comes with freelancing. But there's the good, there's the bad. You know, there's also another part that I feel like freelancing really gave to me was sometimes it's okay to get rejected, and it's okay to accept it, and it's okay not to wait for permission from anyone. And sometimes you can value your own time and creativity and work over clients, even if it comes over money. And I know that's very hard to say and very privileged to say, because I know a lot of people in certain positions, they cannot say no to money no matter what. But I feel like at some point, freelancing teaches you to value yourself and your boundaries as a human being, as a creative worker, over anyone. because what they do now in a lot of lovely companies is that they would go for the cheaper. They would go for India or Lebanon, or they would be like, oh, I can hire someone from Lebanon or India with much cheaper money. I'm like, go for it. If that what you need for your business, definitely go for it. What we give out as creatives in this industry is more than just a template or just a marketing strategy. It's way more than that. It's not a copy and paste thing that we just, give to you and you're like, bye bye. We give results, we give more. So I feel like freelancing can be an amazing thing and can be the worst thing that would happen to you ever. So you take the good, you take the bad, and you just deal with it.
One thing that I just want to be adding is, I, honestly, it's not even about the countries because I literally have met so many people from India, Pakistan, Nigeria that are so hardworking and so like 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 well-rounded. Like they know their shit. Like they will get it done and they will literally like do it properly. Like there's nothing against that. It's just like sometimes like clients will literally come out with even the craziest things. Like my cousin's friend, he can do it for cheaper. Go for your cousin. Go for him. It's like in photography. I used to be a photographer, and like a lot of times, like people would come to me and be like, "My cousin's friend, though, like she could do the photos for 100 euros." I was like, "Oh, you should definitely go for that deal. That's amazing. I would do it myself. The heck." So, I mean, you have to like literally stand your ground and be like, "Okay, just go for that option. If it's better for you for what you're looking for, just do it." Like, I'm not saying like your cousin's friend is not good. Like, probably they are, you should try it. But then don't come to me and say like, "Oh, we should have worked together." Like, no. But I mean, this also brings me to adding. So, who do you think like freelancing it really is for? Who is it for? I mean, I think freelancing is for people who can handle feedback without turning it into a a personality crisis, right? It's also for people who are comfortable experimenting, because not every idea works, and that doesn't mean you're bad at what you do. It just means it didn't work. Maybe like it is not the right moment in time for it to work. It's also for people who can mix creativity with decision making, because talent alone will not save you if you can't choose price and also communicate and also adapt. It just can't. And honestly, it also keeps you, if you can survive the sentence, like, can we make this pop just a little more? Just a tiny bit, just a little more. Like, it doesn't give me that wow factor. Can you just make it pop? Like, if you cannot survive that, trust me, just don't. Because I feel like that quote also like goes for so many work environments. It goes for marketing, it goes for development, it goes for graphic design, it goes for arts, it goes for literally anything. Is like, can you just make that pop just a bit? So yeah, without losing your mind, if you can take it, then you're good.
Yeah, I feel like everything you said is so true. Oh my God. It gets on my nerves sometimes, but it comes with buckets. But anyways,
I know.
here's what we
I
mainly
know.
want from you guys, whoever is listening right now, is that share with us what is hard for you as a freelancer. Is it the consistency of the jobs? Is it the money? Is it the confidence? Is it the clients? Is it the loneliness? Because that's a topic for another day. You get so lonely as a freelancer sometimes, and we need to talk about that as well. So do share with us as well what what's the good, what's the bad for you as a freelancer. And yeah, I think we just want to hear people talk about this more, and we want to hold a safe space for everyone to come and express themselves. And we want to host a lot of you guys with us in the next episodes as well. And we want to make this a big community, a safe space to talk about everything, the good, the bad, and the horrible. So,
Horrible. Yeah. Honestly, I just want to be adding one more thing. If like you're thinking if this is for me or if it's not for me, I'm gonna say like a couple of things like without trying to sound too harsh with you guys, but realistically, like if you're having dilemma, right? If you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure if it's for me, if maybe not. So if uncertainty makes you shut down, I would say freelancing can feel less like freedom and like more like a weekly emotional addition, right? It's like an emotional addition. Like you have to be prepared every week. And if you need very clear ladders, titles, and external validation, freelancing can feel confusing because sometimes you're growing a lot and it still doesn't look like it. So it still looks messy from the outside, but you're growing, but it looks super messy. So if that's what you're after, freelancing is definitely not for you. And if you hate talking about your work, selling your work, explaining your work, following up with your work, just following up with your clients, freelancing may be spiritually like offensive to you, I would say. So definitely not for you. Um, so yeah, freelancing is definitely not for everyone, as Ragda did say. And I actually think that's a very healthy truth, right? Some people want stability, teams, and maybe clear progression. And that is not failure. That is definitely not failure. That is self-awareness. Like you know what you know what you want to get. And because freelancing works best when your personality, your working style, and your tolerance for uncertainty actually matches the life. So is freelancer freedom? Yes, I would say, but it's the kind of freedom where you're free to build your own schedule. So you're free to choose your own clients and also free to have an identity crisis on a Tuesday because an invoice is probably late. So yeah, freedom, I would say with an admin,
I agree.
it's freedom but operational. I mean, yeah, so definitely as Ragda was saying, this is our first episode. If you do like what we're speaking about and you have some ideas, maybe for the next episodes, we will put a poll on our Spotify so you can go and vote for the next episode that you would like to hear from us. As well as we want to know your own experiences, your own dilemmas, your own questions regarding freelancing. Because I think we both like have some time behind our backs to like be able to help you with it. Obviously, we can't guide you with a rope through freelancing because that's crazy. Like we can give you some advice. We can try. Um, but this is not to scare you off. It's just to give you an idea of what freelancer is like from our perspective, our personal perspective. Because if I talk to another marketer, perhaps he's like, nah, girl, this is not how I'm living it. Maybe they're like, I am solely super free. And maybe somebody else is like, huh, help. Get me out of this cycle. I don't want to be here. So, I mean, really, it really is like super like personable, right? Um, but yeah, if you guys have any questions you want to ask, we also have Instagram with the same name. You can give us a little follow. We are trying to grow there as well. And we will definitely talk to you then in the next episode. Ragda, this floor is all yours.
All I want to say is to encourage everyone to leave us a comment, DM us, talk to us, tell us about your experience because we want to do have a lot of more conversations. And if you, as she said, if you have more ideas, we do have some topics prepared. But if you have certain ideas or certain topics you want us to talk about, we can definitely do that. Just talk to us, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we're done.
Bye.